Hey there, in this video I'm going to talk about centripetal force. Let's say we have an object here, and round object, and it is moving in a straight line motion. This is a straight line motion, and the velocity, it is constant. If constant velocity, which means there is no resultant force. The reason is simple, because F equals to ma, and the a, it is the acceleration, which is going to be m times v minus u over t. So if we times inside, it is going to be mv minus mu, which is the change in momentum over t. So let's say the mass of this object, it is going to be 1. The mass, it is going to be 1 kg. And the time being, it is going to be 1 as well. 1 second. And the velocity, it is going to be 10 ms. So if we put it in, the mass, it is going to be 1. And the velocity, which is the final and the initial, it is going to be the same, because the velocity, it is constant. So 1 times 10 minus 1 and times 10 as well. So over t, which is 1. So 10 minus 10 equals over, so 10 minus 10 equals to 0 and over 1. So 0 minus 1, it is going to be 0. So there is no resultant force. So the resultant force, it is going to be 0 Newton, which means there is no net force in this case. Okay, so let's say, let me just erase this first. We know the resultant force is going to be 0 here, and the velocity, it is going to be 0 as well. And let's say we suspend this object from a point. Let's say this is our pin, and we suspend this object with a string. Okay, in this case, so if this straight line motion continues, which means this string, it will pull this object inwards. So we have a resultant force of inwards. So in this case, the resultant force, it is accelerating towards the center. Okay, like this. So right now, I'm just going to bring this down a little bit. So this is very important. If in the exam, they ask you what direction is the resultant force, so this will be your answer. The resultant force, it is accelerating towards the center. So this will be your answer if the question asks you like this. So this will be our center. And this is the object. Okay, so this is the object. And I suspend this round object to the point. Let's say this is our pin. Okay, so in this case, the direction of this object, it is moving in straight line. So this will be our straight line motion. So let's say the straight line motion, it is facing our right hand side. So we will have anti-clockwise circular motion like this. So this object will slowly go to here, and will slowly go to here and here. So this is our circular motion. So if this object, it has straight line motion as well, but it is going to our left hand side. So this object will go to here like this, and like this. So basically, this is going to be our clockwise direction like this. Okay, so since in this case, this is going to be our anti-clockwise direction. If we cut this string like this, so anti-clockwise, and if we cut it, then this object, it will continue the straight line motion as well. Okay, so this is due to Newton's first law of motion. If there is no external force applied, the object, it's either going to travel in a straight line motion, or it will remain in still motion, which is the velocity is going to be 0 ms. So in this case, it will go in a straight line motion. So notice here, there is a force pulling this object, right? This blue line. Let me just erase this first. So this blue string, it is pulling the object inwards, right? So we call this force as centripetal force. Centripetal force, like this. So if you want to increase the centripetal force, we could either increase the mass of the object or decrease the radius, which is the length of this string, and to increase the speed of this straight line motion, because F equals to ma and mv minus mu over t, we could increase the velocity in this case, so we will have greater resultant force. So that's it for this video. I hope you have understood what I had just explained, and do remember to subscribe to my channel to increase my channel's algorithm, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.